Hey, Build Show Network, Steve Basic Architect. We're out here somewhere in the Midwest today, and we're installing windows. Yeah, I got one of my favorites out here, Schuco Triple Glazed. They're a UPVC window, and as you can see, we got some nice big units going in here. But today we're going to talk about the window install and the windows themselves. So first thing up is these are the attachment clips. So you can see there's a couple teeth there that bite, and the window has this corresponding track here. So basically those clips just go in and basically rotate into place. And voila, that's as far as that goes, as far as the clip attachment to the window. And then basically I tell the builders, fold that in like that. So now we install the window. And the reason for the fold in is it just takes that edge out of play when you're installing the window and trying to shoehorn it in the rough opening. But the other thing is, understand that the window rough opening is an inch larger than the window unit itself. So we have to make up that ½ inch on each side. So the minute I bend that and then I bend it back, you can see there's a space in here now so that when I screw this off, I've made up that ½ inch difference between the face of the window and the face of the rough opening. We just installed the window over there. Let's cut. We'll run over there and we'll take a look at that window. I'll show you the operation of a Euro tilt turn window, and we'll talk a little bit more about the install. So let's head over. All right, so we're over here at one of the double windows we just installed. Notice we have some holes. I grabbed one of the pieces of hardware. Let's talk a little bit about the operation of a triple glazed window. So obviously the downward position is the close and lock position. If I rotate the handle up 90 degrees, then I can pull the window open, and now that is the turn function, right? I have full access to the outside. I can wash the window, etc. And then if I close it and I rotate that another 90 degrees, usually you could just pull on the handle, but if I do that, I'll just pull the handle out because the screws aren't in. So I got to grab the sash here. But you can see here, that's the tilt function of the Euro tilt turn window. So it's basically closed, turned in, or tilted in. This is what I tell people in America, that this is how Europeans vent their house, right? This is how they open a window typically. And one of the beauties is that it's positively sloped. And if you open the window here, and if you look down here, you'll see that there's weep holes down here in the frame. So any water that comes down that sloped window is just going to go down into that track and basically weep out. So the windows have their own self water management system in place. And you can see here, there's my clip. The clip that I pulled it off the window there, and you can see that's how it has that bend. And you can see also here, so we put those in, they're attached to the window, and then they're basically pushed up against the rough opening there. So that's basically sitting in there like this, and it just simply gets screwed off. Now on these windows, we're gonna have a drywall return. So the drywall is gonna come, turn 90 degrees and go into and butt that edge of the window there on 3 sides. We have some nice hinge covers that'll go over there that match the hardware. These are some beautiful black windows. It's a true simulated divided light. So absolutely gorgeous windows. This one's probably somewhere around R7 or so compared to an R3 domestic product. So we're a little better than twice as good, which certainly elevates the whole wall R value of the system. But anyways, let's head back to the studio. We'll break out the sill detail here, and we'll talk about this insulation detail with Big Red. I'll see you back at the studio.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, beautiful windows going in there, huh? Love those things. Always a treat to get out there and install some. Notice we didn't install the 11-foot by 6-foot window. It was for good choice. Start out with the smaller ones. Anyways, great windows. Got a really good window detail here. Got Big Red We got time. We got video. Let's get after it. Very excited, I got to tell you. Window sill details are probably my favorite to draw. Yeah, I'll go out and say it. They are my favorite to draw. So let's talk about where we're at here. Here is the 2x6 wall. There is the sill. Here is our zip R9. Let's see our 7/16 there. This is our R9 panel. I'm not going to talk about insulation today. We always talk about insulation. But we are going to talk about our weather-resistant barrier continuity. So we run a piece of zip in here. And that's just straight up 7/16 zip. That is not the zip R9. That is just the standard 7/16 zip there. And that basically gives us the platform to then begin our window install. So you can see here, we have a block there, 1x3. That is set inside here. It's about 1.5 inches, I believe we had that at. And you can see up here, this is our old triple glazed window here, and you can see the 3 panes of glass there. 2 spaces, Swiss spacer, all good stuff, all good stuff. But notice there's a little bit of space there. You can, out there, we actually directly applied those to the top of our block. We're going to talk about a couple other steps there, but sometimes we'll put these on little blocks if the sill and everything isn't quite perfectly level. We did check it, and they were spot on. You can see actually the metal clip is right there, and it comes in and goes down, and there's that bend that we talked about, but it turns into the channel right there, and that's what locks it in. And then you can see we have our screw here that we screw that down. This blocking here, that's just some intermittent blocking that will allow us to put our finished sill in with the finished carpenters, but we're more concerned about the install here. So we have our 1x3, and then we have our little sloped piece of cedar here. And you can see here we have membrane flashing. This is where we were using that stretch tape, basically because it conforms nice and neat. And all I really care about is that we get that stretch tape up to the inside of that block. So it runs along the top of the block, it drops down, makes that little sill pan there. But then this is sloped, and it's not a really strong slope. It is just a piece of bevel siding, but it is full length, so it goes the full length of the window opening. So doesn't this block. They're not intermittent, they are continuous. And then we have the zip stretch tape. And as far as this is concerned, I mean, if we get 2 inches there, I'm certainly more than satisfied. We basically want to, get by this joint of the zip R9 and our zip liner to the window. And if we can get by that by about 1 inch, that's a really good rule of thumb there. And then basically we sit our window down on that. And then to finish it out, we do put some shims there, and you can see this is our finished sill here. It has a little drip to it. So however far we call out for 1 inch on this project, we actually have a synthetic stone or cut stone, thin stone veneer here. So we have our metal lath and our Benjamin Obdyke Home Slicker Max with a self-furring metal lath that gets placed on the face of that, and then the stone gets thin veneer natural stone cladding would get applied to that system. We have some other areas where it's lap siding. I just chose to grab the detail. I actually do the detail for both sidings because sometimes the sill dimension and stuff changes. But finally, after all of this, and I know Big Red is starting to get really red here, we come in and we'll use some Sega tape and basically tape the window, and we're only biting that window maybe 1/4 of an inch, and then we tape to the face of that sill there, and that's our exterior air barrier. We'll go in and if you put spacers there, we would use a foam sealant, but if we're going to set the window right down on it, we would just hit that inner joint there with some sealant, and then you can see here we have an interior seal, and that same 1/4 of an inch applies to the tape seal there. So that way there, what we're basically trying to do is you have your wall sheathing here that if we didn't put the window in, it would just be continuous, but we would have a house without windows. So the minute I go and I cut this opening into the system, then I have to figure out a way of how do I connect the cut piece of my weather-resistant barrier there to the cut piece of my weather-resistant barrier up here. So again, basically, we cut it out, but we basically fold it in, and you see there, and we'll do the same at the head, and then we need to just find a way where our window is actually our weather-resistant barrier in the opening. So we have to make those connections to, you guessed it, my favorite word. I can use this in almost every conversation about building science. Continuity, continuity, continuity. So anyways, there you have it. A little dissection of a windowsill detail, courtesy of Big Red. There you go. Big Red, done. That's our windowsill detail. Anyways, if you're looking for more, Steve Basic Architect on Instagram. Also, do not forget to go check out our Build Show Build Boston series. Yes, here on the Build Show Network. It's under the Originals tab. Go check it out. 24 episodes of a year-long build. So we're about 1/3 of the way through. So go check it out. A lot of good stuff. And lastly, if you want to hear or see more of me, you can find me on the Unbuild It podcast. Yeah, I team up with Peter Yost and Jake Bruton, and we talk about everything building. So you can find us on YouTube or all of the audio channels. So there you have it. Until next time, long live our buildings.